Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Brooklyn Technical High School Virtual College Fair. My name is Lucy. I will be your StriveScan facilitator this evening. Thank you so much for joining us. Just a few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Just make sure to use the @ sign to make sure that school knows that the question is for them. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you, and this is just one of many different sessions happening, so please be sure to sign up for more. The presentation is also being recorded and will be available within about a week at strivescan.com/BrooklynTech. Here is the list of the remaining sessions for this evening. So if you are interested in joining, please sign up. So without further ado, I'm going to hand it over to our panelists. First, you will be hearing from Sacred Heart University. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me. My name is Morgan Ford. I'm one of the admissions counselors here at Sacred Heart University. I'm just going to give you a brief overview of what we have to offer as a college. So firstly, Sacred Heart was founded in 1963 by the Diocese of Bridgeport, and we're actually the first Catholic institution to be founded by the lay people, and that's where we get our name, the Pioneers. We're the second largest Catholic university in New England, and we have a current undergraduate enrollment of 5,600. When you factor in postgraduate degrees and our part-time students, we sit at just above 8,000, so we're considered a medium-sized school. Here's some national endorsements. We have a lot here, but I do want to highlight a few. We're considered to have the best PT program and nursing program in the state of Connecticut. And we're also listed on Princeton's Review Top 10 Most Engaged in Community Service, racking in over 100,000 hours on a national, local, and global scale. Here's an academic overview. We have 6 colleges of study under the Sacred Heart University umbrella. First is the College of Arts and Sciences, which is home to School of Communication, Media and the Arts, and the School of Social Work. We also have the Isabel Farrington College of Education, the Jack Welch College of Business and Technology with our growing Computer Science and Engineering School, the Davis and Henley College of Nursing, the College of Health Professions, as well as the St. Vincent's College, which is mostly for associate and certification programs. We have 60 plus majors and concentrations for you to choose from. And if you're not sure what you want to do, that's completely fine. We also have a undecided option as well. And you can actually come in as a business undecided major. We have 40 plus master's and doctoral programs, and a lot of these programs can be in accelerated programs combined with your undergraduate field of study. Our average class size is about 22, and our student-to-teacher ratio is 13:1. You'll never have any teacher's assistants or student teachers. Your professor is going to be your professor, and we want to make sure that you're interacting with them as much as possible. Some other academic opportunities, we do have an honors program. You are automatically vetted for this program when you apply to Sacred Heart University. We do have study abroad options at Sacred Heart. We have 30 different programs in 60 different countries around the world, and we do have 2 campuses, one in Luxembourg and the other one in Dingle, Ireland. Our freshman year experience program is to help students in terms of advising. So your academic advisor will actually reach out to you June before your first year with us, and they'll create your schedule for you. The FYE course focuses mostly on the transitional phase between high school and college, and also living at home to living on your own. So they'll help you with stress management, time management, different resources that you're looking to get into on campus, as well as reaching out to your professors and everything. The Career for Professional Development is a great department here at Sacred Heart University, and that's just to create a bridge between campus and careers. So they're going to help you with resume building, internship opportunities, and also if you don't know what you want to do, that's totally fine. A lot of our undecided students actually go to the Career Professional Development and participate in the Discover You program. Well, they'll talk with you about different interests and passions that you have and model that into a career. And this is just to increase the return on investment when you choose Sacred Heart. So just go over some of the residence halls. First, we have Merton and Seton, which is our 2 main freshman complexes located right at the heart of campus, and they're comprised of doubles and triples. This is traditional corridor-style housing, so you'll have a floor full of dorms with communal bathrooms as well as laundry rooms and small kitchenettes, and these are swipe card access. Roncalli Hall is our 10-story high-rise located directly across the street from the university, and it's home to most of our living learning communities. These are comprised of doubles and triples, and these are actually suite-style housing, so you'll have 4 dorms sharing a common bathroom, and then 8 dorms sharing a living room area, as well as a study room and communal laundry room areas. There is a first floor fitness facility, and these are also swipe card access. Tucson Hall is one of the more popular places to live on campus, and this is home to our Thomas More Honors Program, as well as our living learning community. So these are pod style, so you have 4 students living to a pod connected by a half bath with common shower rooms on each floor, and as you can see from that top photo, there's a ton of study and lounge space. This is Bergoglio Hall. This is home to our honors housing as well as our common freshman housing. It's a little different, so it's going to be pod style. However, it's going to be 2 students, 2 students, 2 per pod, and then they're going to be conjoined by a full bath. There is a multi-purpose fitness facility. It is a CrossFit gym, and I know our CrossFit team works out there. And there's also a multifunctional multimedia room, so you can do anything from hosting gaming events to watching The Bachelor and Bachelorette with your friends. As you can see from that top photo, there's a ton of study and lounge space, and there's also another beautiful place to live on campus. So just talk about the growth of Sacred Heart University. We've actually built 14 buildings in the past 15 years, and one is the Center for Healthcare Education. So this, if you're looking to be in that health profession field as well as our nursing, this is where you'll be taking most of your classes. The second photo is what a typical classroom looks like. However, as you can see, it's not filled up all the way, and that's because we want to keep those class sizes as small as possible. It's a state-of-the-art facility with a ton of simulators that you can use, as well as mannequins for our nursing students that replicate real diseases that you see in the field and also give birth once a week. This is our West Campus. It was actually the headquarters for General Electric before they moved up to Boston about 3.5 years ago, but now it is our Business and Technology School as well as our education school. There is an AI lab where students can learn about artificial intelligence in real time, and there's also this is what a typical classroom would look like. This is the Idea Lab, mostly used by our engineering students. It has over a dozen drones and also 3D printers. The Verizon iHub is a place where businesses can actually rent out these spaces in collaboration with students to foster networking and internship opportunities. The Upper Quad is about halfway done, so in fall 2021, it will be a full gym housing for 4 years as well as another dining hall on campus. The By Valentine Health and Recreation Center is mostly used by our non-Division I student athletes. It has a 30-foot rock wall, a 12-lane bowling alley, as well as a golf simulator and smoothie bar. So this is another photo of what that looks like. Our JP's Diner is named after our president, Dr. John Patillo. It's a 50-style diner open late night for all of our students. Applying to Sacred Heart, we ask that you apply through the common application, and here are some dates to keep in mind if you want to take a photo of them. Some application requirements, we do ask that you have an official high school transcript and 1 letter of recommendation sent by a counselor. Interviews are not required, however, they are highly recommended for students that are not going that early decision route, and it's really nice to be able to get to interact with students as much as possible. We are a test optional school, and we have been for the past 14 years, and the average GPA of an accepted student is a 3.4. When you factor in that nursing, it will be a 3.7. We do accept AP credits as well as IB courses, as long as you score a 4 or higher on those exams, and any dual enrollment classes, we do accept those credits as long as you receive a C or better in that class. All students that are accepted at Sacred Heart University will receive a merit scholarship solely based on their GPA, and there's other grants available that cater towards interest. We do ask that you fill out 2 forms to qualify for financial aid. First is the FAFSA, the other is the CSS profile, and these will both be available for you guys October 1st. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me in the chat. I'll put my information there, and I'm always happy to interact with students. Thanks again for having me.
Thank you. Next up, we'll hear from Marymount Manhattan.
Thank you so much. Let me just share my screen. Okay, is that visible?
Yep, looks good.
Thank you. Okay, so my name is Emma. I am one of the admission counselors here at Marymount, as well as an alumna of MMC from 2018. So I went to Marymount. I'm originally from Austin, Texas, and I'm the Brooklyn counselor. So I help recruit all Brooklyn students and help you through the application process, and I'm the first one to review the application. So definitely stay in touch, and I'll put my info in the contact in the chat box at the end as well. So Marymount is a very small college on the Upper East Side of New York City. So we have a good combination of being a small school while also never, having our students feel like there's a lack of opportunities or isolation because, of course, we're in New York. This map shows, obviously, y'all are familiar with Manhattan. I know you're just in Brooklyn, but this map kind of shows where our main campus is in relation to our two residence halls. However, we never require you to live on campus. So if you do want to stay in Brooklyn or whatever borough you're in and just to commute, a large population of our students do, but you are welcome to have that dorm experience, which is apartment style dorming if you choose. Our actual campus is pretty much two buildings merged together. We have a little under 2,000 undergraduates. So that's an 11-to-1 student faculty ratio. And our average class size is 15. With the average, though, that's not always reflective of the class size, but we can guarantee small class sizes because we cap all of our classes at 25 students. So you're never in a class, whether it's a gen ed or a major class, that's larger than 25. And my smallest class as a student had 6 students. So you really are getting that individual attention, and it's a very hands-on learning experience and classroom environment. We don't have any lecture halls on campus. This is just an overview of the majority of our majors and minors. We are constantly updating our different majors and curriculum offerings. For example, this summer, we created a race and anti-racism minor in light of what happened in this country over the summer. So we're trying to stay as up to date as we can with our curriculum and making sure that we are doing what we can to empower our students in the current political and academic world. We also specialize with students who have a double major. We have a policy set up where one class can fill multiple requirements at the same time if you do have a double major. So most of our students will end up adding at least a minor. That same policy kicks in for a minor, and it's super easy to do that and still graduate on time at MMC. So we have, of course, a lot of different internships and opportunities to really start your career while you're still in college. That just goes with New York City. Obviously, there's hundreds of opportunities, but the fact that we keep all our class sizes small and that we don't have any graduate schools, so there's no TAs, there's no graduate students to take the professor's time or resources, means that you have so much more connection to the field of interest via your professors. In terms of student life, we also have a very active student life on campus. We have over 50 different clubs and organizations. I don't have a separate slide on that, but how we streamline all those events is through an app called MMC Engage. So it's kind of like an Instagram feed of all of the different events that are happening on campus. As of last week, actually, we are officially test optional next year too. We're still kind of looking at it year by year. We became test optional last year for obvious reasons, but it's something that we're definitely interested in continuing. And again, next year, it is definitely going to still be in place for those of you who are current juniors. Our other application requirements are very standard. We have early decision, early action, and regular decision, but we of course recommend you to apply earlier rather than later. And we do have on-campus tours this summer for prospective students. Right now it's just admitted students, but over the summer, prospective students too. So cost to attend, we are a private college and we like to be really transparent about our cost, but also acknowledging the fact that there's a lot we can do for you. So again, going back to transparency, there's not much I can say about our room and board. That $18,000 isn't really that flexible, but the tuition is. So we apply different scholarships and aid to the tuition cost. So even though you see $37,000 over there, I have many students who commute that get it down to just a few thousand with the different scholarships and aid we offer. So don't let that discourage you, and we can always waive the application fee if it will help you out on request. So that is all I have for you. Please follow us on your social media of choice. Again, that's my email. And like I said, that's our current fee waiver. It will change, of course, next year, but please just reach out to me if you would like a fee waiver to apply and if you're interested in a campus visit. And thank you so much.
Thanks so much. Next up, we'll hear from Salve, Regina University.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Nick Albanese with Salve Regina University. Salve Regina means Hail Holy Queen in Latin, and it's part of a Catholic prayer that the Sisters of Mercy who founded us were very fond of. The sisters represent a network of orders of nuns around the US and the world. So kind of similar to the Jesuits, there's a number of Sister of Mercy high schools, colleges, universities, and 5 concerns of the Sisters of Mercy. So these are sort of some of the greatest issues in society that they feel right now are climate change, making sure that we address that, our immigration policies, being sort of nonviolent as a baseline, not just educating our students about racism, but really trying to work to be actively anti-racist, and promoting the rights of women. So these are topics that we weave throughout our curriculum, and we hope that our students, by the time they graduate, will feel a sense of confidence that they can make an impact in the lives of others, or as we say in our mission statement, that they can make the world a little bit more just, harmonious, and merciful. I think everyone likes going to Salve because we're a Catholic school, whether or not you're Catholic, some other religion, or not religious at all. The very first line of our mission statement is, as a community that welcomes people of all beliefs. So we really embrace the liberal arts at Salve Regina. We have about 2,100 students, so we're a small university, and about 600 graduate students. There are many different majors. You don't have to know right away what you want to study, however. The only program that's really like that is nursing. It's a direct entry program, so you do need to know that off the bat, but all of our other majors you can declare sophomore year. Some of our popular programs are really any form of business, administration of justice, biology, chemistry, but then we have some unique programs. We have a Bachelor of Arts in Dance, and our most unique program is Cultural and Historic Preservation. So students in that major study the built environment. They learn how to protect, advocate for, restore historic objects, buildings, and even entire neighborhoods. And it makes sense that we have such excellent history and preservation programs at Salve because we're located in one of the best kept historic districts in New England. So we are in Rhode Island. We're on an island in Rhode Island, but there's bridges, so it's really easy to get on and off. You don't have to take a ferry like Staten Island or that kind of thing. And we're about an hour and a half from Boston, about a 3 to 4 hour drive from your location, depending on traffic. But we're also about 20 minutes from an Amtrak stop. And there's a bus that goes from Manhattan to downtown Newport. It's about $30. We are a very walkable area, so we have an open campus. It's a collection of historic estates from the 1800s, right on the cliffs of the Atlantic Ocean, within walking distance of the beach. And we've turned these historic buildings into the residence halls and the classrooms, along with newer facilities and buildings for our students. You can walk downtown in about 15 minutes. It's a really cool city dating back to the 1600s with cobblestone streets and wharfs. It's one of the sailing capitals of the world. And 85% of our students are from out of state. And New York State is actually one of our most popular states outside of New England. So you won't be the only student from New York if you come to Salve. But there's so much to do on campus. We have 20 Division III varsity sports, well known for our sailing program, as well as ice hockey. We have a number of club sports. So we've been national champions in rugby, for example, several times over the past decade. We have over 60 student-led organizations. And if we don't have a club, you can create one. That's our multicultural student organization there at the top right. We have a center called the Pell Center for International Relations and Public Policy. It's a think tank formed by an act of Congress. And the Pell Center brings in speakers from all over the world, thought leaders of our generation, great minds like Dr. Cornel West, Dr. Jill Biden, Senator John Kerry. The list goes on, but you can be inspired by these folks right on campus. There's always events and activities going on, so it's really not a quote unquote suitcase school. We have a very small commuter population. It's a very residential campus, and all of our students participate in community service, helping over 80 organizations right in our backyard on the island. In terms of admissions, most students have between a B+ and an A- GPA. A quarter of our students are a 4.0, but a quarter are below a 3.2. So I appreciate that we admit a wide range of students. You don't have to be a perfect straight A student to come to Salve, and you can still qualify for scholarships if you're not like a perfect 4.0. And our scholarships are not only based on your grades, they're based on the entire review of your application. We do a holistic review, so we look at your letters of recommendation, the activities, the essay, and all of those things. We're a member of the Common Application. We will waive that fee for students from your school. So in a moment, I'll show you the contact information to do that. And we are completely test optional for all of our programs, including nursing. You can apply in November, January, or February. Students tend to be admitted at about the same rate. Early decision is binding, so ask us about that if you're not sure, but all of our other options are not binding. Our scholarships range from 12 to 25,000. You're automatically evaluated for them, and we have some need-based aid as well. So we give out over $40 million in aid a year, and we're able to make Salve affordable for most of our families, especially coming from your area. Check out salve.edu/visit if you'd like to see some in-person tour opportunities coming up, as well as all of our virtual offerings. And you can scan this QR code if you want to find your admissions counselor. Her name is Stephanie Dupuis, and she's actually regionally based in Brooklyn. Thank you so much for listening to me, and I'll turn it over to our next speaker.
Thank you. Next up, we will be hearing from University of Scranton.
Great, thanks so much, everyone. My name is Melissa Przyslocki. I'm an assistant director of admissions at Scranton. I'm also an alum of the university. I graduated in 2015. So a little bit about our university. We were founded in 1888 as St. Thomas College originally. And then in 1942, we were entrusted into the Society of Jesus, becoming one of the 27 Jesuit colleges in the country. With that Jesuit ideal and identity rooted deep in everything that we do on campus, we do really provide a mind, body, spirit education for our students and a well-rounded education for our students. We do live by the Jesuit ideals of cura personalis, or care of the whole person, providing that mind, body, spirit education, and also giving back to those in need on campus. It's a huge part of our campus culture. A little bit about our campus community. Our undergraduate population is around 3,800 undergraduate students. So typically our first year class is between 940 and 960 students. So with that, it's a really comfortable number for our students. The average class size is around 20, but we do cap our courses at 35, no matter what type of course it is, but average around 20. And our student to faculty ratio is 13:1. You'll really get to know your faculty members and your peers in your classes. Our first year retention rate is 88%. So 88% of our first year students are returning for their sophomore year. With our academics, we do provide around 68 majors, 48 minors, 34 grad programs, and 39 concentrations. We do have pre-health and pre-law advisory programs. We have research on campus for anyone interested in research. And we also have accelerated graduate programs as well. So students really have the ability to create their own academic experience. When it comes to living on campus, housing is guaranteed all 4 years. Your first 2 years, you do have to live on campus if you're out of the commuting distance, but housing is guaranteed all 4 years. When it comes to student support, we have a counseling center on campus, we have student health services, and a number of academic resources when it comes to tutoring and other resources as well. We provide 80 clubs and organizations for our students on campus, over 900 events during the academic year as well. So there's always something going on at all times during the year. So you'll never be bored when it comes to being on campus. Some clubs are academic related, service related, arts and culture, or just the fun social things happening on our campus. We are Division III and we play in the Landmark Conference for all of our D3 teams. And if you're not interested in any Division III sports, we have club sports and intramural leagues as well, all very fun and easy to get involved with. When it comes to admissions and application information, on the screen here, you can see our accepted student profile or middle 50% of ranges. So of 100% of accepted students, 25% of our accepted students fall below these ranges and 25% are above. So this is just the middle average of where a majority of our students are coming in. We are test optional for majority of our programs already. We also added test exempt into our application process for anyone not able to sit for the SAT or ACT because of everything that's going on right now. You can apply test exempt to any program at the university. We are free to apply online on the Common App, and we just require your official high school transcript, test scores unless you're applying test optional or test exempt, One recommendation letter we do encourage you to submit from a guidance counselor. And then we like to see everything you're doing outside the classroom. So your activities, leadership roles, community service, jobs, clubs, sports, responsibilities at home, anything that makes up who you are as a whole student. We do take a holistic approach when reading applications. This is our timeline of dates to remember. November 15th is our early action deadline. Early action at Scranton is non-binding. So if you apply to Scranton early action and you're accepted, you don't have to come, but you will find out of our decision on December 15th, which is pretty early in your process. So then December 15th is also our regular decision when we begin reviewing regular decision applicants. March 1st is our preferred deadline for first year applicants, although we do have rolling admission. And then May 1st is our confirmation reply date. When students apply, they'll be automatically considered for merit-based scholarships. The requirements are on the screen and they range between $15,000 to $26,000 a year. Students who apply test optional will also be considered for a merit-based scholarship, so you're not affected in any way. We do have a limited number of full tuition scholarships available. Those are our presidential scholarships. And at the time of your acceptance is when you'll receive all of your merit-based scholarship information together. What comes separately is any financial aid information, and our Office of Financial Aid can definitely help with any need-based aid. And we do require the FAFSA form for any need-based aid. That filing date is between October 1st and February 1st, and all this information will begin going out in January in your process. If you are interested in coming to see our campus, we are on campus right now doing visits. Monday through Saturdays, we're doing small group sessions and campus tours, and we're also doing virtual sessions if you would like to come check us out. I'll put my contact information in the chat for everybody if you would like to reach out to me with any questions, but thank you all for coming today.
Thank you. Next up, we will hear from Seton Hall University.
Hi all, my name is Rachel Dorff. I'm an Assistant Director of Admissions at Seton Hall. Just a little bit about my role. I'm here to help you guys out with the admissions process, whether you have questions about financial aid, majors, all of that type of stuff. So think of me as kind of like your bridge to Seton Hall. So we are a private Catholic institution. We are located about 30 minutes from Manhattan in the city. From Brooklyn, it's maybe a 30-35 minute car ride, depending on the time of day you come and visit us. Again, we are located in South Orange, New Jersey. This is kind of like in a residential neighborhood. Everything you need is very close by, whether it is public transportation, restaurants, grocery stores, all of that stuff is very, very close by. So we have an average class size of 21, which is typically like a high school class size, and a student to faculty ratio of 14:1. Those large lecture halls you might see at bigger institutions or maybe even on TV, we really don't have that on our campus. We really value our students creating close relationships with the staff and faculty we have. We are a campus of about 6,000, so it means it's large enough for you to know people's faces, but you won't know everyone's name walking around campus. At Seton Hall, we have a ton of programs, any type of major you can think of, we have. We have a lot of dual degree programs at Seton Hall. So you might hear me say 3+3, 3+2, and whatever major you're interested in, all that means is that that first number is how many years you spend working on your undergrad, and that second number is how many years you spend working on your professional degree. So kind of think of it as an accelerated undergrad program. We have physical therapy, physician's assistant, and occupational therapy. Those are our 3+3 programs. We have dual 3+3 law programs. We have a direct admit for College of Nursing and many other programs. The overarching theme for all of our majors is this internship component. It's what we're most known for academically at Seton Hall. We're ranked number 5 in the nation for providing internship opportunities for our students. We really don't want you to be in the classroom. We want you to go out, learn, explore, figure out what you like and what you don't like, and really develop that professional network while you're at Seton Hall, as opposed to waiting until after graduation. My favorite thing about the school is our students. I love our students. They have a really good balance between working hard and playing hard. So they understand that they are there to get a good education, but they're also there to meet people and really enjoy that college experience. Our students are heavily involved in our campus, whether they are participating in student organizations or some of the events that we host on campus. This May, we will be having a spring carnival that I'm happy about, and we always have a lot of fun guest speakers that come and speak to us on campus. Last semester, we had Kiki Palmer, and we also had a virtual concert with Jason Derulo, which was really cool. Now, a little bit about money. So 98% of our students are on some type of Seton Hall aid. That does not count FAFSA money, that money you might get from the government. That's just counting Seton Hall money that we provide our students. So we give over $100 million in grants and scholarship each year. We have something called the University Scholarship, which is our merit-based award. That is automatically applied to accepted students' accounts. The way that works is the higher your GPA, the more money and scholarship you are able to receive. We also have a whole host of special scholarships that are available to students that you can apply to on your own. Now, a little bit about our application process and things that you need to submit. You would need an application, of course. It could be either the Seton Hall app or the Common App. There's no difference between the two. There is a fee for our application, but I'm your admissions counselor. Reach out to me. I can give you a fee waiver code, so no worries. You would need your essay, transcripts, a counselor report, which is like a recommendation letter, as well as a teacher recommendation letter. For all of our academic programs, we will be going test optional, except if you are interested in our Joint MD program. Feel free to reach out to me and I can always give you information about that. Outside of that, we will be going test optional for our programs. I like to tell students, if you have the opportunity to take your SAT or ACT, see what you got. If you're unsure on how to submit your application with or without test scores, again, reach out to me and use me as a resource and I can properly advise you. To give you an idea of our averages, we have an average GPA of 3.6, average SAT of 1235, and an average ACT of 27. We have some pretty high averages, so I like to tell students, if you're around that 81, 85 mark for your GPA, that's going to make you a strong candidate for admission. Now, what we do at Seton Hall is something called a holistic review. Yes, we want to know who you are as a student, but we also want to know who you are as a person. So we definitely take into consideration your essay as well as your recommendation letters. That's about it for my presentation. We are having in-person tours, so we would love to have you come visit us on campus. And if not on campus, you can always come visit us virtually. I'll put that information in the chat as well as my contact info.
Thank you. And then finally this evening, we'll be hearing from Williams College.
Great. Hi, everyone. My name is Solgi Lim. I'm the Director of Admission at Williams College and really thrilled to be among this group of terrific colleges. Let's see if I can get started. I just want to really quickly introduce you to our community. We're located in the northwestern corner of Massachusetts, about a 3-hour drive from New York City, and in a really beautiful, naturally gorgeous small town that draws students from all over the country and many, nearly 100 different countries around the world. I want to focus on just 3 aspects of the Williams experience that I think are unique and that set us apart from other terrific schools that you might be considering. The first is the Williams tutorial. So at Williams, we're really lucky to have tremendous resources that support small classes, a low student to professor ratio. The average class size is 13. But then we also have these really mini classes, 2-person classes that we call tutorials, modeled on the Oxford system, where 2 students and 1 professor meet weekly. Tutorials are listed in the course catalog like any other course, but the difference is that every week the pair takes turns playing the role of presenter or critiquer, and exactly how that works depends on the subject matter and the subject area. But the idea of 2 students coming together to learn really deeply, to get to know each other really well, to get to know the professor really well, is consistent across the board. and tutorials are offered in every academic discipline, offered at every academic level. So you can start one as early as your freshman year and continue to take them if you'd like through your senior year, and they're entirely optional. The second thing I want to talk about is this mini term in between the fall and spring terms that we call winter study. Winter study is taught for 3.5 weeks. These are courses that are not taught during the fall and spring, so they're not classes like organic chemistry crammed into a really short period, but rather they're designed to be taught for a shorter period. There are instructors that are Williams faculty, experts in every field, as well as alumni, parents. So it's a really broad range of instructors teaching a wide range of topics, and a really neat opportunity to either go really deeply into a subject area that you've already explored at Williams, or to find something completely new, maybe something that you're not even good at. And winter study courses are graded on a pass-fail basis. You might be wondering what kind of community you might be joining when you come to Williams. It's an incredibly welcoming and open community, and we make it really easy for you to meet people who have really different academic passions and interests, and really different lived experiences and backgrounds. I think it's easiest to find people who share academic interests and co-curricular interests, and naturally you'll do that through classes and activities you join. But the entry is designed to be a microcosm of your first year class, so that by living together for the entire year with these roughly 40 or so other first years and 3 or 4 juniors who volunteer to live with first year students, you get to have this experience and this community that you may otherwise not have. Really quickly here, our graduates are incredibly successful in getting employed, in finding graduate school opportunities, and our students are terrific, and they're supported by a really well-resourced and really expert career center, as well as an alumni network that is just fiercely loyal. Finally, a couple of thoughts about admission. There's a lot of detail on our website about application requirements and deadlines and how to apply. But for a moment, I just want to really focus on 2 things here. One is that our admission process has always been holistic, really centering the student, really trying to make sense of the opportunities you've had and what you've done with those opportunities. I'm getting to know you as a student, but also as a person. And this year, especially with so much happening because of the pandemic, academically, curricularly, in your families, in the city that you live in, I just wanted to make sure that you heard directly from me, and I'm sure my colleagues on this session all feel the same way, that we will pay even more attention, we'll be even more open to understanding your situation. And please don't hesitate to share anything that you feel we need to know to understand your experience in high school, both in and out of the classroom. And finally, I feel really lucky to work at an institution that has very generous financial aid. Nearly half of our students are on financial aid, and 17% pay nothing to attend. Whether your family will qualify for financial aid and how much aid you might expect to receive will depend on your family's circumstances. So I strongly encourage you, if anything I've said tonight interests you about Williams, to hop on our financial aid website. There are 2 icons here: the net price calculator, which might take about 15 to 20 minutes to complete. The My Intuition quick cost estimator, the icon looks exactly like a calculator, which will take you no more than 2 minutes to complete. It'll give you a sense of what to expect. And finally, I think Williams is one of the, if not the only, one of the very few schools that offers free textbooks for students on financial aid. So it's like a little snippet of the financial aid program. But I'm seeing our host back on the screen, so I'll stop there, and I'm sure my colleagues will come on screen in just a moment.
Thank you. So thank you so much, everybody, for speaking this afternoon, or rather this evening. I do just want to share my screen to ask a question for our panelists. And the question is, give an interesting or fun fact about your school. And then also just wanting to share that the events, or rather the other events that are upcoming for the rest of this evening and tomorrow. Excuse me. So like I mentioned earlier, here are the upcoming events. And then the question for you all is, give an interesting or fun fact about your school. And you can answer in the same order in which you presented.
Okay, so I will go first. So actually in 2019, Sacred Heart was listed to have, was listed top 10 on a list of 20 schools to have the happiest students on campus.
Hello, it's Emma again from Marymount Manhattan College. One fun fact about Marymount, even though we have over 50 different clubs and organizations on campus with our small population, we actually don't have any sororities or fraternities because it goes against our inclusivity policy. So any student at Marymount is encouraged and welcome to join any student-run organization. You never have to apply or worried about being excluded in a student group.
Salve, Regina is located in Rhode Island, and fun fact, Rhode Island is the ocean state. So we really take advantage of being in the ocean state. Students can go surfing in the morning and go to class in the afternoon. We're actually ranked by several magazines as a top 10 college for surfers. We're probably in the coldest climate for that, but you will see students out there, even if it's snowing a bit, with those heavy duty wetsuits. That's kind of a cool thing about our area.
With the University of Scranton, I guess if we're going with a couple rankings, the first thing that comes to my head with a fun fact I always tell families is, I know this sounds a little bit silly, but we are ranked number 7 in the country for best campus food. So when we say the food is really good, we're not messing around there. Our students love our campus food. It's a big part of your next 4 years in college. So we always say pay attention to that. But we are ranked number 7 in the country. And we're pretty proud of that.
I'll stick with the theme of rankings. It's an odd statistic to keep, but we are number 1 for celebrating Christmas. Christmas at the hall is a very big deal. We have a huge Christmas tree lighting. We have our custom Seton Hall Santa hats. So yeah, we're ranked number 1 for celebrating Christmas.
Williams, every year in October on one of the first 3 Fridays, the president, unannounced, will ring the bells on campus and cancel classes, and it's declared Mountain Day. So you see mountains behind me. You can imagine in the fall, the colors bursting with reds and oranges and yellows. So on that day, there's a whole menu of activities. If you want to do the hardcore hike, you can. If you want to just do an easy stroll like I do, you can do that. There's free apple cider, cider donuts, a lot of acapella. It's just a fun day, whether you consider yourself an outdoorsy person or not. Something that our students look forward to and a really fun tradition that they remember even after college.
That's awesome. Thanks so much for sharing, everyone. So with that, that is going to conclude our session. So I just want to share my screen one final time, just with some information about a quick survey that you will be getting once you close out of this. And just again to say thank you to our panelists and to our attendees. This is just one of many sessions like I showed earlier, so please be sure to sign up for more. And then the sessions are also being recorded, so you'll be able to see those as well as the other ones that have happened yesterday, today, and tomorrow. And they'll be available at stripescan.com/BrooklynTech. Again, thank you very much, everybody, and have a fantastic evening. Bye.